Well, it's been a while. I'm going to do a Q&A about my time as a CF. How old were you starting your clinical fellowship? Starting my clinical fellowship, how old am I now? I was 32 when I started. I had a birthday in my CF. So I started at 32, ended at 33. Best memory from your CF. One of my best memories was definitely getting my probationary license, saying that I could work as a CF. Another one was getting my full licensure. I wouldn't say I have a favorite memory within getting my CF, but my favorite experiences have been me feeling more confident as an SLP, also getting my first paycheck. It was nice getting a paycheck after 2 years of no paycheck. Whew, thank you. How did you work? I worked hard. There were times when I had one system of working and then that wasn't working out, or I needed to modify it, so I modified it a different way. I worked similar to how I worked in school. I did work in school, like I studied a lot in school, so I decided to carry that over with work. And it took me a while to figure out what worked best. I modified things that needed to be modified and kept up with it as well. Any regrets? Nope. I'm glad I am done with my CF. I think I had one of the best supervisors that I could have had ever. I worked for an amazing company that I was so thrilled about, and I'm still with them to this day. I say that as if it's like 3 years later, and it's not 3 years later, it's a few months later. Are you happy now? I'm generally always a happy person. And my happiness does not come from me having to work as an SLP. Am I flippin' excited? Yes, I am. I was even more excited the day I logged on to the California Board of whatever it was and saw my name as speech language pathologist. That was such a happy day. What was the hardest part of your CF? Hardest part of my CF was the learning curve of reports. My CF was kind of different in the terms of, for the first half of my CF, I was in one office, and then for the second half of my CF, I was split between 2 different offices. Also, getting used to my supervisor being in the room with me. I was fine in grad school, I was so used to that, but then I had to get used to her being in the room, watching and observing me. She participated some of the time, and sometimes that was great, but it felt really different. What was the best moment? Again, it wasn't necessarily a moment, it was just the feeling of, I know what I'm doing. And also whenever my supervisor was like, that was a really smart idea. I'm like, oh my word, I do know something. This is great. If you could change one thing, if I could change one thing, it would be to relax more and to realize it's going to be okay. Any surprises? Not necessarily. Surprises for me were how much I was willing to pick up Spanish and random Spanish words I would remember, like globos and besos. And if I'm mispronouncing any of those words, I am so sorry. I am a gringa. How much I would feel a part of these families and how much I really do not like some insurance companies for various reasons. But my attachment is definitely a surprise. Any tips and advice? Find friends, find free things. Do not feel like you have to stick with the instructions on things. Sometimes you do have to stick with the instructions, especially when it comes to tests and assessments. But when it comes to play, have fun and play. Don't feel like you have to fit a mold. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to list them down below. Bye-bye.